Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of Beyond Mirage. Today, we have with us Vani Murthy ma'am, aka Worm Rani, who is a composting enthusiast, an urban farmer, a waste management practitioner moving towards a zero waste lifestyle. Welcome, ma'am, to the show of
Thank,
Beyond Mirage.
thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to ask you, how did the name Worm Rani came into picture?
I don't know. I don't know who coined the word, but it's pretty apt for me because I have been carrying my earthworms everywhere I go to give a demo or do a workshop. So they were always a companion, which actually get people to understand what real soil is. So I would carry it to show what a great earth warriors they are, that they keep the soil so healthy. So I think from there came Compost Queen and all. But when I came to Insta, when it came to finding out what is the name, I think someone suggested. I still can't remember who that is.
Okay, okay. Well, talking about composting is something very dear to your heart. I know that. And you
Yes.
talk so passionately about composting. So, how did it all begin? Like, what was the trigger point?
Well, it started with waste management. Actually, I have a friend in my neighborhood, Dr. Meenakshi. She actually, got me to start uh, accompanying her in projects. She's a gynecologist and fertility expert, and she loved doing things for the society. So she pulled me into this. I had joined by then the Resident Welfare Association, and they were doing a lot of work around the space where I am living here, Malleshwaram in Bangalore. And so I think the combination of those two got me introduced to things that we could do for the neighborhood. And waste was one of the projects. It's wealth out of waste. So we were asked to help people to collect dry waste for recycling, and that's how it all started. And visited Velo Srinivasan in Tamil Nadu, went to the landfill. I think all that changed the way I started looking at waste, and segregation and saying no to a landfill became a very important part of our journey, the beginning of our journey. And then once we started segregating, dry waste was, diverted away to the collection centers, not to the landfill. And I had 60% of my waste, which is wet waste. And what best you can do is, convert it into compost. So I was in touch with Daily Dump. They were the pioneers who introduced home composting methods, and started off with a kamba, and there's no stopping.
Yeah, definitely. So, ma'am, you said that it changed the way you looked at waste. So, what happened at your mental level? Like, can you go a bit deeper into it?
Well, the pollution that the waste that we generate, the pollution that happens, was very clear when we visited the landfill. We actually saw what a stinking mess it is, and we understood how it pollutes, because when our kitchen waste, which is biodegradable waste, gets trapped in these landfills, because the landfills are just dumping grounds where all the waste from the city gets dumped there. And as they keep dumping, it starts growing like a mountain. It's a mountain of
Hmm.
garbage, and all the organic waste gets trapped in the middle, and that starts to break down anaerobically, and methane gets out. Methane is a deadly greenhouse gas, all of us know, and it's directly affecting the climate change. And also there's a dark fluid that runs off due to this anaerobic breakdown, and that's the leachate which enters the groundwater and the soil around, and that completely contaminates everything that is so dear to us on this planet: air, water, and soil that grow our food. So once you understood this, I don't think there is any way that I'm going to send my waste out to get, to pollute my planet. So that's when I started to compost, and I very well learned how to compost, even if I failed in the first attempt, because this is something that I thought is my life's mission, that I need to keep that waste away from polluting my environment. And also it creates great soil to grow my food.
Right, right, right. Ma'am, you talked about the why aspect, and as there's a golden circle theory by Simon Sinek that you should be clear about your why, and then you should go to how and then what. So you
Yes.
have a very clear vision of why are you doing this. But there are people out there, there is a lot of potential youth out there who are not yet clear as to why they should go do composting or why they should adopt to urban farming. So any views on that?
I think awareness is the key. We need to be taught at very early stage that this is only one planet that we have. We don't have planet B, and how are we going to take steps or take a daily action to conserve, preserve, and leave something better for the future? I think if these questions are asked, I think everybody will get in touch with things that create impact, their actions creating impact on this planet, and you can change that. So the choice is a fantastic tool, which makes a huge difference. So we can choose not to do the things that pollute, or that puts a burden on this planet, because we are the only species that generate things that the earth can't digest. Every other species in this planet, live with harmony with nature. They don't create things like plastic that we do, and contaminate the planet. So I think that awareness is the key. I think once you're aware or sensitized to your actions, I think people all will definitely want to change, and that's the biggest hope I have. 10 years down the line in the same space, I have realized that I have great hope for people, because that's why I keep talking nonstop about trash, because I
Yeah.
need it to reach out to people, and somewhere, if it just gets into them, it will change behavior. Behavior has to change.
Hmm. Right, 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 right. So, ma'am, talking about the composting and urban farming, can you tell us the top three myths about it?
Well, composting is not new to a farmer. When you look at natural ways of farming, every farmer had cows in his on his farm, and they would compost. All the waste from the harvest would go into that pile, the hay and other stuff. So it's composting it is natural to a farmer, and it's very natural to the natural world, because it happens everywhere. Only that we are not aware. So most people look at composting, because especially the urbanites, there are there are some kinds of roadblocks that they have when they start looking at composting. Oh, do I have space? Maybe composting takes a lot of space. Maybe it starts smelling. That's a second issue they have, that compost could be very stinky. And also the
Hmm.
third thing, it could invite things that could be harmful for us, like insects, and some kind of things that would generate some kind of disease. So
Hmm.
all the three things are myth according to me, because composting is not rocket science. If it is done the right way, if you understand the process the right way, it is one of the most beautiful ways. You can take one single action every day.
Right, right, right. Ma'am, you talked about the different kind of composting, and I'm 100% sure, and I've been through all your videos. So there is a lot of content out there on composting, and the viewers and the listeners can definitely go and check that content out, and you will definitely find ways to how to compost. But
Yeah.
for this, can you, ma'am, just in short tell us that what are the different ways of composting and how one should go about it?
Right, right. So basically, there is a process. There are different kinds of composting. It's aerobic, anaerobic. In aerobic itself, you can have vermicomposting, that is, with the help of earthworms. That is the vermicompost that you can make. So finally, what are you doing? You're using the waste that comes from your kitchen. These are the peels of today from my house, right from the coffee powder to the fruit peels and vegetable peels. This is biodegradable waste, and this is you're converting this into something that's called the black gold. And this is the one that feeds the soil, which feeds in turn feeds the plant, which in turn nourishes us. So the cycle is to create this compost. And the thing is, if you have all kinds of issues around handling your own, what you have eaten, this is food that we have eaten, we should never look at it as trash, because this is great resource to be converted into this amazing soil. The process is very simple. When you take fresh wet kitchen waste. This is something that I've eaten. This is high in moisture, and it is the nitrogen content in the compost. And along with this, you need enough brown material. That's the dry leaves that we have in abundance. Every tree in your neighborhood will shed dry leaves in season. Just collect them and keep them. So the carbon and the nitrogen, carbon is the dry, this is the nitrogen. Both have to be mixed very well, so that as this starts to break down, there's a lot of moisture, and the browns will absorb the moisture. The second thing is that you need an accelerator, something that will hasten the composting process. That could be as simple as buttermilk. We all have curds at home. Leave it out for a couple of days, it becomes very sour. So a little bit of buttermilk is an inoculant. It is like a culture that you can add to make the process faster. That's the third thing. And last is about the air circulation, because it's an aerobic process. You need oxygen for the microbes to multiply, colonize, and break down your kitchen waste. So that's also important. And lastly, the container. So choose a container which you have already at home. If you don't want to spend, or you can buy, you have lovely vendors coming out with lovely composting solutions. Even in a small balcony, you can have a tower. You can have a three composters, one over the other, and start composting. So it is to be excited that you're not sending out this waste. That's number one. That'll make you want to experiment with it. And as it is an experiential learning, it's okay for you to fail, even even if it doesn't work out a couple of times. Keep at it, because you will be doing great service by making this black gold and creating soil to grow food.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was in depth and a crisp explanation towards composting. And say,
what I can grow. This is the cabbage. I just harvested now. I saw monkeys, so I came away. So then there are brinjals, there are color brinjals. So there are a lot of things that you can grow in spaces. If you don't have space in your homes, start a community garden. All of you make compost, go together, start sowing in a small patch in the neighborhood, which is empty site. I think there's a lot of excitement that can come around composting.
Definitely. And ma'am, say talking about the things that we do, we require a lot of time investment in it. So, what is the time commitment required for this? And can a working person can do urban farming and composting together?
Yes. I don't think time matters actually, because once you get a hang of it, it is just like you getting up and brushing your teeth, or cooking yourself breakfast and making your lunch, or preparing your whatever, preparing for your work, or going to a theater to see a movie, or on the social media spending half an hour chatting with friends. I think all that happen naturally. You never look at the time spent. You don't think that it is time that we are spending. I want to go and have an entertainment in the weekend. I go to a movie or a pub or whatever it is. You don't look at the time. Same way, when you think that there's something that you need to contribute for the nature, the planet that gives us everything. I think all this becomes a part of you. Once you get a hang of it, once you're excited about it, and once you feel proud that this is something that I feel so good I'm doing this in my life. So I think it becomes a part of your life. I mean, you really will not look at the time in the beginning till you understand. Probably the failures will offset, and then you experiment again. Otherwise, I always say it's less than 2 minutes. Maggie takes more time, I say. This is less than 2 minutes, because you just have to take your fresh waste into your composting bin, add some dry leaves, mix it up, and that's it. Cover it well, keep it away from the rains. So that's it. But if you get problems, that's where you're learning. In fact, I encourage people to not worry about issues around composting, because when you actually, they say, when you come to the bridge, then only you cross. You can't cross the river before the bridge comes. Same way, when the problem arrives, that's where you know how to solve it. You'll start Google searching. Today at the tip of your fingers, you have so much of information. How many videos out there that will help you? So I think it's no brainer. I think people should just look at it as an exciting thing to do.
Exactly. And ma'am, sometimes it gets very difficult to get your hands dirty And say when you talk about vermicomposting, it's like sometimes it's very difficult to do that. So what one should remind themselves at that point of time that keeps them going, or what are the
Yeah,
alternatives for it?
I don't think you will find it yucky or once you connect. See, you make a choice for a particular reason. We started off by, why? Why are we
Why?
doing it? So when you know the reason is very clear, and you know this is something that you have made a choice about, I don't think you will feel yucky at all, because worms, yes, some people find it very difficult to look at a worm. You don't have to do vermicompost. So there are so many. There are if you don't have space, people do indoor composting. That is the bokashi method of composting. So the choices are plenty. You can try different methods and see what suits you the best. And yeah, it can be something that you will do in spite of. There are so many unpleasant things that we have to do in life. We are not all the time in a comfort zone, right?
Mhm.
Every time there is a challenge, you need to surpass. You may have a friend who is nasty, but still it's friendship. So I think it becomes a part of your the things that you want to do in life. Yeah, that's how it is.
Right, right, right. And ma'am, you always say composting is magical. And so, in what sense the green surroundings that you live in, or the composting that you do, or you when you get your hands dirty, have created a magical impact at your mental level?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's very therapeutic, because one thing is, you've done it because you don't want to send it out because it's polluting. The second, the best part of it is you see it turn into this beautiful black gold, which smells so awesome, and it is like a living soil that you're creating. And then you add it to your pots, and you just see how life thrives. You see the plants coming, so you're creating your own little space around you, which is living, which is giving. It gives you vegetables, and you can grow your greens. You see how much of agriculture has become so poisonous because they spray so much of pesticides and the chemical fertilizers. You're no more getting nourishing food. But when you start growing just maybe tomatoes, maybe some chilies, you understand the taste of an organic or naturally grown produce. And also you will start opting for things that are safe for you to eat. So that's how my transition has been, that I understood food only when I started growing it.
Great, awesome, awesome. Ma'am, last message from your end to all the youth who is listening or viewing this episode for composting and urban farming.
Well, I came into this space pretty late in my life, and I can never be more happier. I don't think anything else would have given me the same joy and satisfaction. And for all youth, you're all young, you're energetic, you have so much ideas and so many things that you can be very creative around how you want to do it. You have the power of social media. You can bring teams together and create that buzz around, talking about what we all can do as a daily action. And definitely composting can be the one of the best actions we can take every day to mitigate the climate change, because climate change is real, we all know that. And ask yourself, what are the actions that you're taking and what is that impact of that action? I think all of us will, if you ask these questions, I'm sure all the youth will jump into things that matter, jump into making this planet a more beautiful planet for the future.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I hope so that after listening this episode, definitely at least few people try to change their habits and go adopt composting and urban farming. And those few will definitely inspire some others to take action.
Yes,
And that's how the
yes,
cycle will continue, I guess.
yes.
Yeah. Uh, Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us today and talking with us for composting and urban farming. I'll be linking all the handles of Vani ma'am below. Please go and check out the content, and you will definitely find all content related to composting, urban farming, zero waste lifestyle, and to watch those videos and take an inspiration plus also take an action with it.
Yeah,
You can create natural cleaners, you can have bioenzymes, you can do composting. So I'll be linking all the
Yes.
handles below. So do check them out. And thank you, ma'am, for joining us today and sharing your insights and experience with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.